Turn the video on, and good afternoon. My name is John Leonard. This is my demonstration of programs that can be used for graphic presentations. And I took a class in this last semester. It was a new subject for me, and I thought I would demonstrate this because it's really a very handy program, and it deals predominantly with extreme precision in drawing. So if you're doing a graph that requires a lot of accuracy uh, for your reputation or whatever, this thing is very versatile. And so I'm going to share my screen with you and show you how this thing works. I think it's a pretty cool software. I'm going to put the share here. And I've got screen one set up here. So I'm going to share it. And now I can see that I'm sharing it. Okay, excellent. So here's the neat thing about this is I set up this diagram. And again, this is AutoCAD 2024. It may not be new to you all. Maybe you know all about it, but for me, it was new, and it's extremely accurate. So for example, I'll show you how to draw a circle, but I drew one here, okay? And if you click on that circle, it highlights all the points, okay? And it shows you the center is at 1.5, which is where I set it right here. And that's the X coordinate, and the Y coordinate is also 1.5. And I set it to draw a circle 1.5 inches in diameter, and there's the circle. Now, the neat thing about this, I'll show you, is that you don't have to redraw everything. For example, you can just tell, okay, I want to copy this. So you click on copy, and it says, well, select the object. Okay, we'll click this. It says, okay, now you've clicked it. So select the object, and click enter. And we'll set the, it says, let's do copy, specify the base point or displacement mode node, I guess it is. But we'll set the base point here, okay? And what we'll do is we'll set the base point and tell it it's the center, okay? And the base point is the center, and we'll move it up here, and we'll put him at the, and you can see the numbers down here at the bottom, right? We're here, okay? So we got this one at 1.5 inches and 1.5 inches. We'll put this one at 3.68 and 4. That's what we want. Right there, 3.73. Okay, so we'll put it right there. Okay, now we have to kill it, otherwise it'll try to do it some more. So now let's click on this one. Okay, and it tells us that it's at center is 3.68x and 3.72 on the Y. Well, we want to change that. We want it to be 3.75 on the X. See how it moved it? And then you can tell it 3.75 here on this one, 3.75. Okay. And so now you can see that it's 1.5 inches diameter, and it goes here. Okay. So we just copied the drawing and we adjusted it so that it was exact. Okay. Now I want to show you some of the neat things you can do with this. It's like I want to draw a line here. And I'm going to set the snap point for both ends like this, okay? And we're going to set the snap here, right here, and set it so it touches up here, okay? And then we'll cancel it. See if we did have the settings right. It takes a little bit to get used to this because what I was trying to do was actually a tangent, and it didn't seem to turn the snap on. It takes a little getting used to. This thing has a bit of a learning curve to it. Now, here's another trick you can do. You don't have to draw this line. You can just do what's called a offset, okay? And it's a modification where you come down here and specify the offset distance, okay? And so what we're going to do is we're going to just specify the offset distance. It's set at 1.5 inches from one of the previous ones I did, okay? And you hit enter, and then it says, okay, select the object to offset. Click it here. Now you see the thing appears up here, but if you move the cursor the other way, it appears 1.5 inches the other way, which is what we want, okay? Now, the neat thing about this is, here's where you draw in and get your accuracy. So for example, I'll click this line here and it'll show the endpoints on the line, okay? And what we want to do is we want to adjust this. Let's make sure we've got it back to the 0 point. Okay, so what we want to do is bring this down until it just touches the line, see, like that. And that's why, like I said, I'm still kind of learning this thing. It's got its quandary type things, but that looks like that worked pretty good. No, it didn't. We're going to have to move this one, and we'll move him back here to where he's about tangent. Okay, and we'll set him there. See, he's not touching. And see how the accuracy, see, we just moved that just a little bit. Okay, now let's see if we can catch the other side, make sure that he's accurate too. And see, I overshot it by a little. So what we'll do here is we'll adjust it right there. And see, it's not quite touching yet. So you got to move it again. And I apologize because I'm not as good with this as I should be. The more you use it, the better you get with it, like a lot of things in life, school. Okay, so I'm going to move that down there. See now. See, does that touch? Well, there's like 3 lines there, see? So at any rate, what I'm trying to show you is this. If you, the way this thing has so much control, see, is you can zoom in on these things and set them here. Okay, and then if you got something hanging over that you don't want, you can come up here and tell it to trim this. We'll see this line here. See where it turns red X there? I'm going to click that, and it's going to erase that line because I didn't want it there. Okay, now you can see this one isn't touching like it's supposed to, but I accidentally erased it. Obviously, I'm not as proficient at this as I'd like to be. I erased a couple things. We erased that. Delete on that line. And then got to down here. Get this one. We're going to just erase that one completely because he looks like he's touching pretty close. Okay, so and it looks like he's touching here. So what I can show you then is you can use this trim option here. Now it's going to work. See here, see how it fades that line? Let's say you want to show this as a tube. See there, it erased what I told it to erase, and we're going to do this one too. So see now where you had 2 circles connected by 2 lines, you've got this oval shape. Okay, and it's kind of neat from that standpoint. Now I'm going to show you something else that I did to show how versatile this thing is. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to erase this whole thing, and you got to start the right way to get it to erase. Now everything that green square is touching will light up, and you can hit that and erase it. Didn't get that. You got to erase that. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is change the dimensions on this, and I put another drawing in here, and I'm going to show this one to you. And again, you can move things real easily. I'll click move. Okay. And it says select the object. So I'm going to do it the right way. There we go. Click that. Okay. Now it says specify the opposite corner. Well, we'll see here. Do that right. Move. Okay. And we're going to select the object. Okay. And it says specify the opposite corner. Okay. And we'll enter, and we can just latch onto it. We did. And see, we're moving it. Okay. So I'm going to click on it, and it'll stay where we put it. So I can just show you this one. The nice thing was, here's one where I drew some circles and had to connect them with edges. And the neat thing is you can zoom in on these and you can click on it. It shows you that this one is it starts at the X, Y coordinates and things. But the important part in this on these edges for these circles was the length of this line is it's the edge lines for the nodes. It's 0.7502. Okay, now click on this one. I copied it. This one I had to draw by freehand. It wouldn't hook up quite right. So this one is length 0.750, and this one is length 0.750. And I think you'll find that almost all the others, now that one's off by it's 6 thousandths of an inch. No, it's 10 thousandths of an inch. Okay. And that one's off by 2/10,000ths of an inch. So they're really, really close and accurate. When you can draw these lines and the circles and things and get them down to just 100 thousandths, you can change the colors, as you can see here. If I click on that circle, it shows it's red. If I don't like red, I want to change it to let's say a magenta. There it's magenta now. You can erase, and you can change it. You can fill the circles. And so the learning curve is a little steep on this. It takes a little bit of time and practice, but it's exceedingly valuable in rendering drawings and things that are very, very accurate. So that's pretty much the end of my presentation. I want to thank you very much, and I'll go back over here and see if I can shut this thing off and tell it to stop. Thanks again. Hope you enjoy.
Well, thank you. And it is accurate, and it's a 3D